Bitcoin is now at a dominance of 60%. That is huge.
Yeah.
This financial system is going to collapse for sure. It's Keynesian economics, it's money printing, and we cannot print money until infinity. The trade I'm having open alone already is sitting at like $10 million in profits.
I know that you're doing a lot for communities as well. You're building schools for crypto.
In Thailand, we have, that is the craziest project. I think 350 Burmese kids.
Wow.
Insane, right?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on gambling being regulated in a Muslim country?
I don't really want to judge on that when we are like specifically mentioning the Muslim country. I actually gambled myself back in the days when I was still driving a taxi. I could even say maybe I was a little bit addicted.
Is crypto gambling?
Partially, yeah.
Where do you see BTC in the next 10 years?
$5 million.
That's a big shout.
Yeah, I think
that's a big shout.
I think that's my best case scenario. But
hello and welcome back to BetTalks. I'm Rick Godds and we are joined by a special guest. He is a crypto influencer with over 500,000 YouTube subscribers, investor, entrepreneur, multi-award winner. He is a public figure in the cryptocurrency market, no other than Chris Crypto. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. We know each other for a long time. It was about time. Let's talk about crypto, gaming, Bitcoin, price predictions, where we are going. Very exciting.
Absolutely. It's been a long time. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, man.
We met back in Malta, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Absolutely. I mean, and I've followed your story since 2017, and I mean, what you've done is incredible. You just sort of dominating the market, the face of crypto. The face of crypto. I believe that you are the strongest influencer in the market. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, I believe that. I've followed your platforms, and what you're doing is incredible. What's the key? How did it all start? That's what interests me.
First of all, I appreciate the words. That's amazing. I don't know if I'm the strongest or whatever, but yeah, I really appreciate it. We met 2018. My followers were very different back then, like much smaller. Now I think with Twitter, I think you didn't mention Twitter. Twitter is, I think, my biggest platform, but yeah, YouTube for sure. That has been a big ride. What the secret was, I don't know. I think I just stayed myself. I record from the phone, right? I hold my phone up. I talk into the camera, no editing, straight up my thoughts, price predictions, charts. I show my trades live in the video, and like sometimes the camera is a little bit shaky. Sometimes I'm recording outside in the gym, in the private jet, or wherever, like in a supermarket, like wherever it is necessary. Whenever the price is moving, I'm usually there, and I think that's what the people like.
Of course,
they like when it's about crypto. They want the information first. They want some entertainment. I keep it short. I keep it simple, and I think that might be the secret to the success.
Brilliant, fantastic. So obviously you've got 500,000 YouTube subscribers. What is the total amount of sort of following you have with Twitter, Insta, and YouTube itself?
I think like close to 3 million, maybe.
3 million.
Maybe yeah, close to 2.5 maybe.
That's very impressive. Very, very impressive. And I mean, obviously you've seen the sort of crypto space, the crypto sphere change so rapidly, going from sort of ICOs to NFTs and now sort of meme tokens. I mean, where do you see crypto, let's say, in the next 10 years?
That's the thing, man. I mean, I can definitely tell you where I see Bitcoin in the next 10 years. That's very easy to say for me. I see it on top of all assets. I think Bitcoin has still so much growth in front of us. We are sitting at the time of recording like $70,000 or whatever. I don't know where it is when the people are watching. The price is quite volatile at the moment, but I'm seeing a bright future for Bitcoin separated to like crypto. And then for crypto, it's very difficult to say. I think we will talk about gaming, but it's very difficult to predict. Just as you said, it was ICOs, right? First of all, it was actually hard forks of Bitcoin, which were altcoins, right? Then Ethereum came, and with Ethereum, the ICOs came. Then you had, of course, NFTs and like all different narratives coming into the place. And the most successful examples of these narratives, they are staying, right? BNB was an ICO in the beginning.
Correct.
And I mean, Dogecoin is basically a hard fork. Like the most successful ones, they were staying. I think it's going to be the same with gaming. We see a huge crowd of people being interested about gaming, crypto gaming, and gaming in and of itself is a huge space. I mean, look at GTA 6.
Yeah.
It's going to be played by hundreds of millions. I mean, the trailer alone, it was the most watched YouTube video besides music videos ever.
I saw that.
Right?
And make money while you play as well. I mean,
exactly.
This is just incredible.
So I think there's big things to come also for crypto gaming and for other things. But we have to understand as an investor, if you think now, wow, crypto gaming is going to be big. Yes, it's going to be big. But if you just go in and invest in everything, most of these things will still fail, right?
Yeah.
We are still talking about like venture capital. We are still talking about small companies, which most of them are most likely not going to be successful. So you have to spread widely. You have to be very well informed. If you're not, I think the best choice is still Bitcoin, but gaming is definitely a good area.
I mean, obviously you are very focused on Bitcoin, and I can see your passion for it. I mean, what is your thoughts on these meme tokens? I mean, there's no actual real usability. It's pure just a sort of community building. I mean, is there any future in this?
Same thing with everything else. I think there will be a few examples which can stay. I mean, we are seeing now Dogecoin is one of the only altcoins which were beating Bitcoin over a few cycles. If you look at the altcoin space in general, and by now we have hundreds of thousands, right? Like including all of these small meme coins which you can produce with a mouse click. Almost all of them, I'm talking more than 99.9% of them, are actually beaten by Bitcoin over a few cycles. Of course, like within a few weeks, an altcoin, meme coin, layer 1 solution, layer 2, whatever, they can beat Bitcoin over a few weeks, right? Sometimes we see that 20x, 50x, 100x, and everyone who's holding Bitcoin is like, oh no, I'm missing out. Of course, Bitcoin is boring compared to that. But if you look at the whole crypto market, then you actually realize that Bitcoin is now at a dominance of 60%. That is huge considering how much we actually got in terms of growth when we look at how many altcoin projects are out there. So they're actually the smaller, this cut of the cake, which is getting smaller and is now sitting at 40%, which is the altcoin market cap. It's getting divided more and more into smaller pieces as more altcoins are actually joining the space. And if you realize that, then you know that 99.9% of the altcoins are actually losing against Bitcoin over a few cycles. So in my opinion, still Bitcoin is the best choice. If you know what you're doing, if you're in the space, if you are willing to commit a lot of time and resources into your research in terms of what is the best place to invest your money in outside of Bitcoin, yes, then you can make a killing, especially in the next few months. I think we are getting towards the end of the bull market, maybe 6-8 more months to go. As Bitcoin breaks the previous all-time highs, altcoins will thrive, AI will thrive, gaming will thrive, and you can make money, you can beat Bitcoin. But I want to say, if I will invest, and I will invest something in gaming, in AI and other areas of the altcoin space, I will make sure that I take my profits also within the next few months, and I take these profits into Bitcoin.
Wow, that's a great answer. I mean, I can see your passion coming out on you. And I mean, listen, it's to all the viewers here at BetTalks. I mean, obviously, do you not see that? I mean, Bitcoin obviously is well established now. I mean, you're talking what today? It's just hit 71K. I mean, a lot of people are obviously looking to make this quick bucks, to hit this quick sort of 400x. I mean, the reality is not there in Bitcoin. Do you think that people have missed the boat on these kind of things, and this is why people are going to these community-based meme tokens?
Amazing question. First of all, to answer your question, yes. That is the reason why people go in there. They want the quick money. You've been here 2017, I've been here 2017. It was amazing. Wherever you threw your money at, it was growing. It didn't matter. Was it a good project? Was it a bad project? Was it a scam? Like wherever you invested, you made money. Like that was such a good time.
The ICO market was just madness.
Yeah, and it's not like this anymore. And it was very much predictable. If you have something like altcoins where there is, as a founder, like if you want to bring out an altcoin, there's no real barrier to entry, right? That means the supply of altcoins has to expand, as also from the founder's side, there's a lot of greed. There's a lot of people who want to bank on this and actually get people's money. So if there is no barrier to entry, we have the supply of altcoins actually increasing significantly. And humans on Earth are quite limited. So the market cannot expand forever, especially when we have these cycles and bear markets where people are actually leaving the space even. So if you have something where the supply, which is the number of altcoins out in the market, is increasing much faster in percentage terms than the amount of people joining the space who can back up the prices of these altcoins with their purchasing power, then you know, of course, the system has to collapse over and over again. And that's what we are seeing whenever we are in a bear market. We see the altcoin space collapsing by 90%, 95%, 99%, many altcoins going down 100% and just completely evaporating. So I think that is very, very important to realize. And when we realize that, then we are much more cautious when investing into altcoins. So yes, those people, they want their 100x, they want their 200x, and that's still possible. It's just very, very unlikely, as there are so many altcoins in the space. And usually those very great investments, they are reserved for people who are already connected in the space. If you want a 200x, well, maybe you need to know about that project at the seed phase, or even before, or like before the Binance listing. And that is very, very difficult information to get a hold of. So for most people, it is difficult to get these 100, 200x's. And I think still, if you are a normal investor, it would be smarter to invest into Bitcoin if you just have a long-term view. Maybe if you're 100 years old, maybe you're not gonna see Bitcoin at $5 million. But think about that. If the best case scenario is Bitcoin soaking up the monetary energy in the world and getting a world reserve currency, that is the best case scenario. If you are a little bit pessimistic about that, you might allocate a low percentage probability to that, but it is the best case scenario. And I personally think it is a possible scenario. 5-6 million US dollars. Some people say $5 to $10 million possible. Michael Saylor, in an interview I had with him like just a year ago, he said 15 million US dollars, right?
By how long? By when?
Let it be 15 years or something, right? But I'm at like 5 million. Let's say 7 to make it easier mathematically. That is 100x from today. So if you are looking for your 100x,
there you go.
You might as well reduce the risk you are taking not to zero, but by a very, very high degree, and actually have a much lower resting heartbeat by investing into Bitcoin, because your risk you are taking is much, much lower. You don't have to make all of that research, stay up during the night and find the perfect altcoin. Invest into Bitcoin, wait 10, 15 years, and boom, there's your 100x in today's purchasing power. Again, if you are willing to invest your time, I mean, you are deeply connected, of course, you have knowledge, you have contacts, all of that. Maybe your community follows you and they are making a lot of research. Okay, gaming can be a good thing, but I still think not 100%. Have a set portion of your portfolio aside, sprinkle your money here and there and there. But I really, really would love to see at least my following to be exposed in some way to Bitcoin, because I think it's, from a risk return perspective, still the best bet.
Yep. I can see you're very, very passionate about BTC, which is, I can see that coming from you. Now, let's talk about another scenario. I mean, what is your involvement with Bybit? You're heavily involved in Bybit. Do you purposely push that exchange, or do you work with other exchanges as well?
I also work with mainly Bybit. Everyone who follows me knows I push mainly Bybit. I do push other exchanges also, but less, because it's just like a monetization strategy, right? If you are doing affiliate marketing,
of course, you
have to find an exchange which you can trust. And dude, I started to work with them early 2019 when it was nothing.
And now the second largest biggest in the world.
People were like, oh no, is that legitimate? It's the second biggest
in the world.
There's no scandals, no nothing. There was one time something, they reimbursed everyone
sponsoring the F1. Unbelievable.
I'm even surprised myself how good that went. Like that was a good pick for sure.
Crazy, yeah.
And it's very important that if you are pushing an exchange, that it's a trustworthy one, right? So I thought that is a trustworthy one. I pushed them. The very nice thing about affiliate marketing, and some people might say, hey, is that really legit? Why are you doing that? I think it's a beautiful way of monetizing, because if you are doing a sponsorship, and there's nothing wrong about sponsorships, but there's sometimes the risk that the project will fail, someone leaves the team, it gets abandoned, or worst case, it's a scam, right? That is always possible. It's not always happening, but there is this risk. If you are choosing yourself a very good exchange, the risk for that is already much lower, right? It's a very profitable business. They are always incentivized to keep on going usually. Let's not look at FTX and these bad examples. I'm happily never promoted FTX. Really had so much luck in the last few years. Maybe it was luck, maybe it was good research, but that is already reduced to a bare minimum. But then also, I'm, as a KOL who is pushing trading content and who is doing affiliate marketing, I'm incentivized to make my community profitable. Because if you look at affiliate income and you are getting a share from every buy and sell order.
You're on a rev share agreement. Yeah.
Exactly. Then you are actually incentivized to make your followers profitable. If they lose money, of course, you get from this one trade where they lost money, you get a tiny fee. But after that, their money is gone. They can't trade with that money further.
For sure.
If you make their money, their account gets bigger, they can trade with more, they make more money, the trades get bigger. You eventually make more money as a KOL who has a profitable community. Sure. And that's the beautiful thing about that.
Yep.
Some people are saying, oh, these influencers, they want to liquidate their followers. Maybe there are some who want to do that, but honestly, they are stupid.
Of course.
They are not only ethically stupid, they are just stupid financially also, because it doesn't make sense financially. You want to have your community profitable, and if the incentive structure is going into the same direction of you and your community, then we are talking about a great monetization strategy. That's why I like Bybit, that's why I like affiliate marketing.
Great answer. Now, obviously, it's in your benefit to benefit your network and make sure they get the best influence, the best tips on what's happening in the market. Have you had much backlash on things that you've promoted and it's sort of come back at you a little bit, not gone to plan, and people have, I mean, there's always bad feedback and bad credibility in everything. Have you had much of that? From traders being unhappy?
It doesn't really matter if you look at Elon Musk, Donald Trump, everyone has their haters, right?
Yeah.
I have to say, for me, it's quite low, right? If I go to my comment section, sometimes someone complains about the thumbnail face I'm making, like, oh, wow, don't make these stupid faces. Why are you using capital letters in your titles? It's more stuff like that.
Right, okay.
Because, as I said, like, I don't do sponsorships. Again, nothing bad about sponsorships, but I don't want the headache. And I just do what I said, like the affiliate marketing stuff, and then I just invest myself. People see I don't need to make money from YouTube. No, the trade I'm having open alone already is sitting at like $10 million in profits.
Wow.
And that's just the last trade, and I'm showing it actually since day one. So I think that's what people like. Then I'm pushing also a lot of like mindset things, health, faith, I don't know, like honor your parents and like these kind of things. So I'm always trying to like not only make my community the wealthiest, but also the happiest.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people like. And then of course you will still have always a few people who maybe don't like me or something, but they are usually just not watching. So I have little backlash, little haters.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about it.
Very, very positive. And I always get that vibe from you. Every time we meet, I see you at conferences all over, always great energy, and it's great to see you. And I know that you're doing a lot for communities as well. You're building schools for crypto. Yeah. Tell us about the schools. What's the project?
Yeah, thanks. I didn't know we would talk about that. That's an amazing topic. I always love to talk about that. I started actually with CryptoMo.
I do my research, you know.
Thank you. I started with CryptoMo 2021 on that project, Crypto for Schools. And we raised a little bit money. We put our own money in. And then we just tried to find in different areas potential projects or projects which we can help. So potential projects, we find someone trustworthy, and this person then is reporting to us. They are like either building the venue or finding teachers and these kind of things. So we helped actually two projects in Mexico, in Ibiza, in Thailand. That is the craziest project. I think 350 Burmese kids. Wow. Insane, right? Yeah. Paid for the whole teachers, for the food for the whole year, and then like when it's over, we'll do it again. Incredible. We have amazing fresh cooking for them every day: rice, vegetables, protein like beef, chicken, everything. Yeah. I made sure they get good cooking oil, no seed oil, and these kind of things. So really, really very, very beautiful. I went there myself, handed out food to them. Nice. I'll give you the link later. because I think we are restructuring the website, but it's so cool. The kids are coming, hugging you. You really want to start crying when you're there. So amazing project. That really makes a lot of fun. It's seriously, when I wake up tomorrow morning and Bitcoin reaches $100,000, it's still not the same feeling I'm getting when it's like 5 kids coming, hugging me, and like taking food, laughing, playing in the school. Yeah, that's the most amazing.
It's incredible. We're doing the same kind of structure with the Sigma Foundation, building schools in Africa for children, doing the cleft lip palate in the Philippines for children that are born without any sort of cleft lip, so we have to do the operation. So raising funds, obviously, at the award ceremony, which you do win a lot of the awards. So I know. Let's just talk about, based on, obviously, you're winning multiple awards throughout the world at different conferences from your engagement. Which, congratulations on that. You're not in Dubai as much anymore. You spend a lot of time in Southeast Asia.
Very good timing for the question. I just moved back, actually.
Oh, right, okay,
and today, I'm getting into my new villa.
All right, okay.
After this podcast, I'm driving and I'm moving into my new villa.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You have been away for a while, though, yeah?
Yeah. I was a lot in Singapore, Thailand, and stuff.
Yeah.
I was fighting, training, just like bear market stuff, right?
Yeah. Getting in shape and
fighting with bears. And shooting.
Brilliant.
Playing in the dirt.
So you're back in Dubai. Obviously, Dubai has become this tech hub. There's a lot of movement here, especially obviously crypto related, AI, blockchain. Also, gaming/gambling obviously is a big topic that we discuss here at BetTalks. Now, crypto is very integrated with the online gambling industry, mainly using stable tokens. What's your future on stable tokens such as USDT?
Well, since 2017, I was always like preaching caution on USDT. At one point, maybe we just have to say, maybe it's legit, maybe never ever anything is going to happen. But maybe that's the moment when something is going to happen. So if ever anyone goes into stable coins, I would just say diversify into different stable coins maybe. But overall, the space is flourishing, and we see few scandals.
Look at Tether's value now. I mean, it's like over $1 trillion.
Insane.
It's up there with Vanguard and BlackRock.
And then they are also providing proof of funds that they are backing it up, right? I mean, it's incredible. Where's all of that money? Like, it's insane. So it looks legitimate. Just still be careful.
I mean, you'll sort of remember as well, because I mean, technically, I mean, your crypto career has escalated on an immense level. But I can remember when USDT wasn't even a thing. I mean, even Binance wasn't around. It was only Coinbase, and like, do you know what I mean?
I was there before Binance.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So these sort of, how Tether has just sort of completely dominated the space is incredible. But like you say, is everyone sort of like say maybe it is stable and there is long-term longevity for it, but there is a lot of money movement within USDT, and how that can. I mean, they're basically completely dominating the banks, which is governments are not liking this.
Well, we have to understand one thing. What for us, it looks like, wow, USDT, they are around now for like, I don't know, 8 years or something, 9 years, I don't know. But if you then compare it, like, how long do we have the US dollar around? And we all know that this is not going to stay forever. So let's still be a little bit careful, I would say. I mean, I have a lot of USDT actually myself, just on the sidelines, not percentage-wise of my portfolio, but it's a good amount of money. And I still want to tell people, like, maybe be a little bit careful, like maybe diversify into different stable coins and maybe don't put your whole net worth into it, because you never know, right? 8-9 years in crypto is ages, but in real life, that's not really a lot of time, right?
No, of course, absolutely. And obviously, you've obviously been in Dubai. How many years have you been around Dubai now?
I think I came 2019.
2019. So I mean, I've been coming here since 2014, and I've seen I've seen a lot of change. You
were like 10 years old or what?
Yeah, no, I'm older than you think. Yeah, I'm 37. So it's you know what I mean. I've seen Dubai change a lot, but Dubai is very, very open to. It's very, very open to USDT. Properties, cars.
Yeah.
Do you see a future in that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at it. You can pay rent, you can buy villas with it, you can buy cars with it. And legally, as far as I know, I don't want to give any wrong information, but as far as I know, we see some positive regulation, and it is allowed to pay for goods and services in USDT officially. As far as I know, fact check that, guys. But that is already...
Property developers are accepting USDT.
They are, and it's legal, right?
Legal, yeah.
Exactly. So I think that is a great sign. And Dubai was, in many, many cases, already the first mover for things, especially when it's about these like progressive technological things. I think that is a very positive sign. I think there's a big future in it. And I think that's also what we need. Even without the regulation, there is a great future for crypto, because just look at Turkey, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and other countries where you have a very high inflation rate. Even without the country allowing it, it still happens, right? The higher the inflation rate, just look at the statistic. I actually was plotting it against each other. The higher the inflation rate of a country, the higher the adoption rate of Bitcoin. Whether you take the number of wallet addresses, the number of people having a Binance account or something, like in Turkey, it's almost 100% of the 30-year-olds. It is pretty crazy. So yes, and if you then have positive regulation on top of that, the adoption goes just much faster.
Absolutely.
So I think Dubai is a great example for that. I've never been happier to be back. And I see a great future for crypto as a whole, but especially for Bitcoin.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, as I just said, obviously, Dubai is obviously expanding and becoming this tech hub of the world. Come 2027, the first land-based casino in Ras Al Khaimah, the Wynn, will be developed, which will allow online gambling, land-based gambling coming into a Muslim country, which will adopt crypto as well. What's your thoughts on gambling being regulated in a Muslim country?
Well, first of all, I'm a Christian, so I don't really want to judge on that when we are like specifically mentioning the Muslim country. But let me answer you the question, maybe what I would think it being regulated in a Christian country, which happened a lot of times. Not the biggest friend of it. I actually gambled myself back in the days when I was still driving a taxi. I could even say maybe I was a little bit addicted. So I'm really not the biggest fan. I will not promote it, and I will not get involved with it. I understand it's a cash cow, and that's the incentive behind it probably, but I'm not a big fan.
No. Is crypto gambling?
Partially, yeah. I mean, if you are going there, like putting your money into meme coins, you can call that gambling, yeah. Good idea. I think that's sometimes when I think, let me put 0.1% of my portfolio into that meme coin. Maybe sometimes I could consider myself still a gambler when I'm doing something like this.
Absolutely. But inside information, I mean, obviously, you've been around the market for so long. Do you invest in startup projects within the crypto sphere? Yeah,
I do. Yeah. But not many, and very few, and then I go big. Usually that's what I do. Back in the days, just like in the last cycle even still, I did a lot of these seed investments and stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. You invest, then you're locked up. They want something from you, but you gave them money in the first place. Like, it just feels like a one way, and I stopped with that. So I usually either do equity or take advisory and help the project along the lines as well. So it's not just pure financial investment. I want to join either as a strategic partner or strategic investor, and then really help the project also to grow.
Yeah, of course.
I think that is, in my own position, it's a much smarter way than just going in and spreading your money throughout a few hundred different startups.
Agreed. And then, I don't know, 90% of them fail and maybe 10% will pull through.
Yeah. And then maybe these 10%, if you have on average like 15x, it made you profitable, but then you have to keep track, sell when you have the vesting is over, when you get lockups, and such a headache, man. All these soft agreements. Wow, I hate it, man. I'm so happy I'm out of that. Rather, I go big in a few projects. And
what would you look for as a startup coming into the sort of crypto space? What would you particularly look for if you was to go and to get on board with something?
Well, first of all, I look at the whole niche it's occupying. It's an exchange. Is it AI? Is it this or that?
The team.
Then I look at how big is the competition. Then I look at the team. How likely is this team with this idea, this execution, this funding, these partners to actually soak up a significant space within that niche I analyzed in the first place, and how much value can I bring? So are there any synergies? Let's say, example, it's an exchange. I invest in an exchange. I think that's where I as a KOL, as a crypto KOL who's doing trading and stuff, could help the most. I can connect them with different KOLs. So, I can make them grow. I can help them. I know other exchanges. I know market makers. I know this and that. So I can actually make this project a success. This project will be bigger with me than without me. So if I'm able to add that much value, I can get better terms. I can invest. And I think that's what I would look out for when it's an investment. Is it a potentially successful investment? Is the space as a whole, the niche, going to grow? And can I help that project in that specific niche?
Good answer. Great answers. Great answers. And this is why I've been very interested to get you here at BetTalks. I know it's been very difficult because you've been in Southeast Asia, but your questions and your answers to these questions are very, very knowledgeable. You actually know what you're talking about.
Thank you, man.
Because there's a lot of people that talk a lot and they don't back it up, but you do. And this is why I'm very, very happy to have you here. One last question before we wrap things up. It's been great having you on the show. Where do you see BTC in the next 10 years?
$5 million.
That's a big shout.
Yeah, I think
that's a big shout.
I think that's my best case scenario. But I'm not saying it's necessarily going, but that's my best case scenario. Within the next 10 years, a lot of things are going to happen. We have the election coming up in 6 days. I don't know when you publish that video, but election coming up, right?
Yeah.
Then we have, in the next 10 years, for sure, one apocalyptic scenario about when we are talking about the economics, right? Economy. One apocalyptic scenario is for sure going to happen, but we are going to recover within that time frame also. So if this apocalyptic scenario is going to happen, short term, it's going to drag Bitcoin down with it, for sure. But Bitcoin was made for this apocalyptic scenario. Just remember when it actually came out, 2009, at the big financial crisis, 2008, 2009. And it was the solution to the problems which were already being pointed out in that crisis, right? 2009 was just a harbinger for what is going to happen or what will happen in a few years, maybe not next year, but maybe in 2, 3, 4 years. We are going to see what was already pointed out a little bit in 2008, 2009. Yeah. This financial system is going to collapse for sure. It's Keynesian economics, it's money printing, and we cannot print money until infinity. The US dollar value is converging against zero. We see debt exploding, and this cannot go on forever. So we will see this collapse, and if it collapses, Bitcoin, maybe not short term, but mid and long term, is going to be the safe haven for people who are suffering from that. We can be lucky, everyone watching can be lucky that we are already exposed to it. But if this is going to happen, and if Bitcoin is going to be chosen as the solution, which I think it is, then my best case scenario is most likely going to happen. And that is, I think, at least $5 million per Bitcoin.
Wow. In
today's purchasing power.
One last tip to our viewers on first time people wanting to get involved in cryptocurrency, right? They don't have $70,000 to buy one Bitcoin. What would you give? What tip would you give to people getting in early?
First of all, just starting, right? Yeah. I mean, if you just start and you just put $10 in, $5, you already have to sign up on an exchange. You have to understand what is the deposit address, what is the withdrawal address. You slowly fall into the rabbit hole, right? And as you have money in it, it gets more interesting. So it will motivate you more to research. I actually put money in first. Like, I understood a little bit what it was because I studied economics, right? But I put money in first, and then I started to like read, to watch videos, and I was getting so inspired by it. So I would say just start first. And then, very, very important, focus on the long term, right? Don't try to make a lot of money in the short term. If you lose 50% of your investment, you have to make 100% to make it back.
Correct.
Don't lose money. That is the most important thing. Don't be completely risk averse, but don't gamble your money away, because when it's gone, right? If you lose 100% of your money, it's just gone. You can't make it back. So this is very important for people to understand. Focus on the long term. And of course, focus firstly on Bitcoin. Understand what Bitcoin is. Why is Bitcoin here? What problems is Bitcoin solving? What is the flaws of the financial system we are looking at? When I'm talking about Keynesian economics, research what it is. Research what inflation is. Research what the central banking system is. understand these things, understand the foundation, then you will understand the value of Bitcoin. Then you will probably have a majority of your portfolio in Bitcoin. And from that standpoint out, I think then you can go into altcoins. Then you can research, hey, gaming is interesting for me. AI is interesting for me.
Sure.
Layer 1 solutions, layer 2 solutions are interesting for me. Exchange tokens are interesting. Whatever it might be, you can do that. And I'm doing it myself, but I think you have to start somewhere else. And I think that is Bitcoin.
And set up an account on Bybit to get started.
But with money.
with money. Chris, it's been fantastic having you on the show. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers have as well. Crypto, check him out on all platforms. What an inspiration he is in the market, and what an influencer. Thanks for having you on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Cheers, thank you.
Awesome.
Woo!